Carb cycling is a dietary pattern that involves strategically alternating between days of high and low carbohydrate intake to support fat loss, muscle gain, and athletic performance goals. The strategy aims to leverage the fat-burning benefits of low-carb periods while providing fuel for workouts and boosting metabolism on high-carb days. This approach is suitable for athletes and people looking to improve body composition, but should be avoided by those with a history of disordered eating. Now, you may wonder, how does carb cycling work? For example, low-carb days. These days reduce overall carb intake, potentially promoting the body to burn more stored fat for fuel. High-carb days. These days provide the energy needed for intense workouts and replenish muscle glycogen stores, which can improve mood, metabolism, and recovery. And then you have strategic timing. Carb intake is often adjusted to align with your activity level, with higher carbs on training days and lower carbs on rest days. You may wonder, what are the benefits of carb cycling? First off, there's fat loss. Alternating carb intake can prevent the body from adapting to a consistent low-carb diet, potentially boosting metabolism. You can also have muscle gains. High carb days support intense training and recovery, which is crucial for building muscle. Next, you have improved athletic performance. Replenishing glycogen stores on high carb days can improve endurance and high-intensity performance. And did you know metabolic health is also benefited? This approach may help improve insulin sensitivity and hormone regulation. But when carb cycling, let's talk about some considerations. So firstly, there's personalization. Carb cycling plans are highly individualized and depend on your specific fitness goals. You also want to be mindful of nutrient-dense foods. When choosing your carbs, prioritize whole, nutrient-dense foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. Sometimes you also need to get professional guidance. Consulting with a registered dietitian or healthcare professional can even help you create a sustainable and safe carb cycling plan, mostly if you have health issues and stuff like that. And you want to avoid carb cycling if you've ever had a disordered eating. People with a history of disordered eating should avoid carb cycling due to its restrictive and periodized nature. Now, carb cycling is really great for athletes and lifters. Carb cycling is best suited for individuals who regularly engage in high-intensity or endurance workouts and strength training, and also for those seeking an improved body composition. It can be a valuable tool for individuals looking to lose fat while also building muscle. Now, you may even notice some weight fluctuations. You may notice your weight increases slightly on high carb days due to increased carbohydrate storage in your muscles. Now, some people might make mistakes while carb cycling. You might focus on carbs and ignore the other macros. Carb cycling is something of a misnomer. It's not just about carbs. Sometimes people reduce their carb intake on low activity days but eat more fat and protein on other days, so much that they're getting the same number of calories overall. If that happens, you're not going to see much fat loss in the long run. It's important to find your maintenance calories, the number that keeps you at your current weight, with an online calculator. On easy days, get 10 to 20% less of your calories from carbs without upping your fat or protein intake. Keep in mind that there are 4 calories per gram of carb, so if you eat 2,000 calories per day, reduce your carb intake by 50 grams, roughly 200 calories worth, on days you're not training heavy. Another common mistake is when your calorie intake varies way too much. The 10 to 20% rule applies specifically to carbs, but there should never consistently be more than 33% difference in the total number of calories you eat from one day to the next. That type of variance can hurt recovery and make it harder for you to stick to a carb cycling plan. To fix this, you should eat at least 68% of your typical energy intake on reduced carb days. That means at least 1,360 calories for people who typically eat 2,000 per day. And lastly, a third common mistake is when you treat high carb days as cheat days. People often use high output days as excuses to eat whatever they want. That's a flawed plan because it's easy for unhealthy habits to become more regular. A way that you can fix this. So, indulgences are fine now and then, but your main focus should be on nutrient-dense options. Aim for whole foods like potatoes and oats on high carb days and eggs and nuts on low carb days. This will give you a better idea of how to kind of follow this plan in a better and healthful way. Now, you can lose weight with carb cycling if you create an overall calorie deficit. But weight loss ultimately depends on consuming fewer calories than your body burns. Carb cycling can support weight loss by promoting fat burning on low carb days and providing energy for intense workouts on high carb days, which can then help preserve muscle and boost your metabolism. Now, for best results, carb cycling is most effective when paired with an exercise routine, particularly high intensity training on high carb days. Now, with being said, carb cycling can be an effective strategy for weight loss because it manipulates your diet to support fat loss and energy levels. However, this is not some magic solution. Weight loss is achieved through a calorie deficit, and the carb cycling approach must be sustained and appropriate for your body and goals. Well, this is just a little bit of information about carb cycling and how to incorporate it into your routine and some of the common mistakes that people make while trying to do carb cycling. While I appreciate you watching, thank you so much for following, liking, and subscribing to my channel. I truly appreciate it. It's your girl, Eva Storm, XOX. We'll see you next time. Bye. Have a wonderful day. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope it was knowledgeable for you guys. We'll see you next time. Lots of love. Your girl, Eva Storm.